The Cherry Silver Benefit Home Show, April 7th and 8th, benefiting the UNM Children's Hospital, Popejoy Hall, and Anderson School of Management. See exhibitors feature windows, doors, kitchen, bath, sunroom, stucco. The Cherry Silver Benefit Home Show at Dreamstyle Arena, The Pit.
Here at the all-new Gala Chevrolet, our ultimate goal is to make life easier for you. That's why we built our new ultra-modern facility from the ground up with the customer in mind. With 1,000 vehicles in stock, a great variety of pre-owned vehicles of every make and model, a clean, state-of-the-art service department focused on getting you back on the road as quickly as possible, and a sales team devoted to 100% customer satisfaction. All conveniently located in the heart of Albuquerque. We'll see you soon, right here at the all-new Gala Chevrolet.
Nothing completes a trip downtown like a visit to Lindy's Cafe. You won't find a more relaxing restaurant to unwind at. Located on 5th and Central, proud supporters of Proview Networks, Lindy's strives to be a friendly and welcoming place.
Lindy's, a great place to be seen.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Red Menace TV here on Proview Networks. Leroy Lucero along with Michael Carlisle of 610D Sports Animal fame.
What's up?
Do you still call yourself 610D Sports Animal, or what is it called now? Just Sports Animal?
95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Oh, so you have to add, you added the extra in there. That's extra words and vocabulary. I mean, doesn't that make it tough to like...
I'm a professional.
I know. I mean, I know you are. I'm just saying it just... I'm just asking, does that... stretches it out? Now you got to say it faster on the intros and the outs?
No.
No? Okay. All right, cool. What's going on, man? It seems like it's been forever since we've hung out together.
It's been a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it has. School's kind of kicking my butt right now, so it's been a little bit wild. Go Cowboys, going to New Mexico Highlands, so Purple Menace, I would say that, but...
wow.
Yeah, the only problem is that there's already a Purple Menace. I think TCU has that, But yeah, maybe go check out some Cowboy games there in Las Vegas. Highlands.
Maybe.
Yeah, you never know.
You don't think there's something wrong with a 60-year-old college student? I mean, come on, man.
No, actually,
you're way closer to retirement than you are college age.
Some of the classes that I go to, I'm actually the baby, so I kind of like those classes.
I didn't realize they offered senior classes.
Yeah, right, exactly,
Highlands,
right. It's crazy, but no, it's fun doing that, and of course, sports.
Do you have a swim class where you like play with the cocoons in the pool, or?
Yeah, that would be great. I'd want to crawl into one of those things. Pudding, it's like applesauce, right?
Yeah.
I still got the teeth. The teeth are still there, dude. Everything's fine. The hair's starting to get a little bit, but the teeth are fine. It's just gray, though, gray and white. Hey, but sports continues on. We had a national champion crowned in men's and women's basketball. Though I have to admit, I don't know who won in women's basketball. Who won?
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, thank you.
They won their Final Four game at the buzzer, which was against UConn in overtime. They won the national championship game.
I did hear the call, but I just didn't remember who won. That's all. I'm just not a huge women's basketball fan. Not knocking it. I'm just saying I'm just not a huge fan of it. But the men's game, Villanova.
You're very busy with school.
Yeah,
it's completely understandable.
Right. Villanova just tore it up, huh?
Yeah. Villanova, their second championship in 3 years. They won all their tournament games by double-digit points and really didn't get tested that much at all. I mean, they were just so much better than everybody they played. You know, Michigan for the first 5-6 minutes of that game had Villanova a little out of sorts, but once they settled down, boom, they just start raining threes. They were able to drive consistently to the basket and get points. They dominated the boards and really opened that up, and that wound up being, what, a 18, 20-point win for Villanova. So, I mean, kudos to them and, you know, the job Jay Wright's done there over this 4-year period, 4 straight 30-win seasons. They've just been on fire.
It's kind of cliche, but I think everyone said it, which makes it a cliche, of course. I learned that in school. But everyone says as soon as they feel the pressure, they turn on they take the pressure off themselves by just basically defeating the pressure. So they did it, and congratulations to Villanova. Another basketball season's over. Did we get a chance to talk about Lobo basketball season? It seems like it ended a long time ago.
I'm pretty sure we did.
Yeah. Ended pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, you know, ended in disappointment just in the fact that they lost in the title game of the Mountain West Conference
But
tournament.
was that really disappointing? I mean, because nobody expected them to be there, I don't think.
Right, and from that standpoint, no. But you were there.
Yeah.
And you were up 7 with, 8 minutes to go, 7 minutes to go, and it got away from you. So from that standpoint, it's disappointing. But the season as a whole, you're right, they were picked to finish, 5th or 6th? And I think for some people, they thought that was a little high. But they went out and took care of business. They finished 3rd in the regular season. They make that nice Mountain West Conference tournament run. And then, I think that did build up fan excitement. But, most everybody seems very happy with the season. And why the heck not? First year under Paul Weir. The guys who did stay, as well as the newcomers, all learning a completely new system to do what they did this year. It was pretty impressive for year one for Paul Weir.
Now, last year at this time, of course, Craig Neal had just been fired. There was a lot of there's a lot of transferring that was going to go on before the firing. Then he was fired. A couple of the guys came back, and then once Paul Weir, and then there was a couple of guys that transferred after that. I mean, it's just this day and age, student athletes transfer all the time. This year, no exception, as 2 players have made the decision to go ahead and leave the University of New Mexico.
Yeah. Yes, look, it is kind of the norm in college basketball. Look, guys transfer every year. 2 guys so far, and hopefully that's it. I guess the Ja'Kai Simmons maybe was a little surprising, but maybe not if you think back.
There was problems throughout the season there.
Late in the season, he wasn't playing anymore. Of course, now he was dealing with stuff. He had a death in the family. But, I mean, maybe looking back at that in hindsight with the way the season, played out for him at the end, maybe not that so surprising after all. But, look, it's the way it goes. They got a ton of talent here. Guys who sat out last year, redshirting, guys coming in this year. I don't think Lobo basketball misses a beat.
No, in fact, I think they get better. I mean, McDougal had a couple coffee here, right?
Yeah.
And a burrito.
Yeah. That one wasn't a surprise at all. I mean,
I don't think anyone's surprised
You knew
about
that was
that.
coming
Right.
pretty early on.
Right, and I think, there was the injury situation,
Sure.
and then I think just the changes. And I don't know. I mean, does the Paul Weir system really fit in with that style of player?
Maybe, I don't know, but he's probably better served in a different system.
Right, yeah, I'm just saying. It just seems like Coach Weir wants to take this team up and down the court, play that stifling defense. Guys have to be extremely athletic. Guys that are, I don't want to say taller, but maybe guys that aren't as quick.
Yeah.
And I don't think those guys.
You got to be quick. You got to get up and down the court. You got to play both ends of the court. You got to play defense as well as offense. And I'm not saying that Connor couldn't do any of those things. I'm just saying, maybe a little slower paced offense might suit him a little better.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you look at a guy like Joe Firststringer and the way that he was able to adapt, but it did take a little bit for Joe to get there.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't happen automatically, but as soon as he started, and I think the whole team is that way, as they started to adapt to exactly what Coach Weir wanted and they bought into the system, I think they got better, and I think that's why towards the end of the season they really came on strong.
I'd agree with that.
They fully have adapted, and like you mentioned, Drew's coming in. You have a couple of guys that sat out this year due to transfer. They've got a couple of other players coming in, and I'm trying to think with the 2 transfers now that left, does that free up a scholarship? I can't remember exactly how the scholarship numbers work.
If they were, Glenn Bragg is, I guess, not on scholarship. He's on campus now, I guess.
Right.
That was the kid who had transferred from Kansas.
Is that Carlton Bragg?
Carlton Bragg. I'm sorry, not Glenn Bragg. Carlton Bragg. If they wanted to give him a scholarship, I think that would lock up the scholarships. Otherwise, they could go out and get one more guy.
Okay, so, and I mean, as we could tell, this Lobo basketball team under Coach Weir, they're not a problem to go out and get guys.
Sure.
And just like the Lobos have 2 guys transferring out, other schools have guys transferring out as well. There's going to be a lot of talent out there, these graduate athletes that, you know, they don't have to sit out a year.
Right.
And they've already graduated, so they can come and play right away. So I wouldn't be shocked to see the Lobos pick up another player here or there if need be. I mean, that doesn't shock me at all. What other news do we have? Let's see. Baseball season has started. You got to be excited about that, kind of, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We only have like 150 some odd games before we get a decision.
Yeah. I think most teams are about 5-6 games in. So
right, yeah, so about 100 was...
About 156, 157.
Yeah, 157, barring rainouts, snowouts. What else would stop him from, I don't know.
You know, it's funny, you brought up this time last year, Craig Neal had been fired, and Lobo basketball was for a new head coach. I was out at Isotopes Park on Monday for their media day, and it struck me that a year ago at Isotopes Park during media day, there was a lot of talk among the media folks. I know myself and Van Tate and a couple of others were all talking, who's going to be the next coach? How about this guy? I'm hearing this guy, I'm hearing this. And it did make me remember everything that was going on during that time. And at some point in time, that there were like, 8 guys who were the front runner and had been offered the job and they didn't take the job and all that. It was just a crazy time. So many different rumors and innuendo out there. Looks like they got their guy though, because you look at year 1 of Paul Weir, and certainly exceeded expectations, and I think the future is really bright for the program.
So what was the rumors this time around?
It was more baseball focused.
Really?
Yeah.
Wasn't about Lobo football?
No.
Is Lobo football even still around? Is it a thing?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. They had their spring game 3 weeks or so ago.
Did you attend? I can't remember.
No, I was in Vegas.
You were in Vegas. I didn't attend. I don't even remember where I was. I think I had to work that day. I don't know.
Got to pay for that schooling, huh?
Yeah, you do got to pay for schooling. It ain't cheap. It ain't, well, it's kind of free. I did get a scholarship, by the way. Presidential scholarship, thank you very much. Because I'm very smart.
No, is it for people?
Why is everybody laughing?
Is the scholarship specifically for people 62 years of age and older?
Wait a minute. You just gave me 2 extra years from...
Is it the presidential AARP scholarship?
No, but I did get a scholarship. I'm pretty happy about that. That's less money out of my pocket.
Did you get a school year's long supply of like Metamucil or something?
Purple Metamucil? Yeah. It could, great flavored. It could happen. Yeah. I'll talk to them about that.
Some Polygrip for those beautiful teeth?
No. These are all en natural right now. But anyways, yeah, so I was just wondering, because Lobo football has been kind of, I guess, the biggest story, and we're going to take a break and turn over to Micah for a little bit, and maybe this is just a tease, but New Mexico Fishbowl had an interview with former Lobo Katie Nida. Did that tickle anything on the sports animal?
I absolutely. Look, Katie Nida is one of the most beloved Lobo alum.
Lobiles, you were going to say?
Maybe. Lobo alum of all time.
Right.
And I think when she talks, you have to listen. Now, I also found it, I was going to say amusing. It's interesting how quickly some people turn on the message boards when you speak out in a way that goes against their beliefs and their thoughts, because she caught a lot of backlash in some circles, which I found interesting. But no, when she talks, you got to listen. And while I don't think in and of itself what she had to say was like damning to the point of, all right, my baby's got to go or anything like that. But I think when you piece it together with other things that are out there, other things come out, it continues that pattern that we've talked so much about.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll talk more about that couple of segments away. But next up is our good friend Micah Frankel of CageMinds.com. He's going to talk all about MMA,
Sure.
UFC. They're different.
It's just,
And
maybe they will teach you that in school.
and there's a big event this weekend, huge event.
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania this
Absolutely.
weekend. I still haven't gotten into the takeover stuff with NXT, but definitely WrestleMania. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back with Micah Frankel and what does he say? The place where you get punched in the face or
Where
something?
he talks about people getting punched in the face.
Thank you.
You name it.
Takes the handoff, plenty of time. Up the middle to Cedric Johnson. Spins in, touchdown, Cedric Johnson. Comes the squeeze, and it's a beauty. No chance, he'll throw the runner out, gets away.
Nobody
Throw
at
down to
second base.
Nobody home. That one as well. The handoff to Bray. Finds the corner on the right side. Cuts back towards the middle. Bray, a lot of room out in front. He's in! Touchdown! Back outside. Same spot out to right. Martinez going back, still going on his horse, and it's gone! A two-run homer for Roy Jennings. It just kept on sailing. Center field. Bill Cox comes on, makes
Double
the catch.
play.
We're going to have a double play, and that's going to be the ball game. They set him in motion. Got time to throw. Still surveying. Going to the end zone. Caught! Caught! What a catch from Dello! Ball. That might fall. No. Whoa! What a diving catch and set. I don't think a high hop the front man. Dello Davis will take this one. He's running behind Bray. Davis has a hole. He's got one more man to beat. He didn't get him. Now he's going to cut right, and he answers for the touchdown. We'll let that one get back to Dello Davis. Davis turns on the Jets. A lot of green in front. He's got the kicker to beat, and he's not going to touch him. That's a touchdown for Dello Davis. Get it to Bray. Antonio. Oh! Hurdles in!
I want to congratulate our first customers at our brand new facility right here at Gala Chevrolet, the Jose's. And how was your experience?
It was awesome and great.
What'd you end up buying?
We bought a 2018 Chevy Silverado.
And how would you say the experience was overall?
I bought all my cars here at Gala Chevrolet, and we couldn't wait for the new facility open, and all the people really treated us well.
Well, on behalf of Gala Chevrolet, we say thank you, and we'll see you soon right here at Gala Chevrolet.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all, or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Hey, New Mexico, come check out the newly remodeled guest rooms at the new Wyndham Albuquerque Hotel and Conference Center, featuring 309 rooms, 30,000 square feet of meeting space. New Mexico's only indoor water park featuring the Wave Runner. 2,200 square foot fitness center with hydro massage chairs. Also enjoy breakfast at our new Manzanita Grill and watch your favorite team play at Altitude Sports Bar and Grill. It's all at Wyndham Albuquerque Hotel and Conference Center.
Terry Cosper Insurance Agency is a proud partner with Proview Networks and a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics. Terry's been a local farmer's agent for over 20 years for auto, home, life, and business insurance. Just like high school sports are important, so are teen drivers. For more information, call Terry or one of his licensed staff members at 898-5556. Quotes are available for you.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
The Barley Room, a proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
When I train for American Ninja Warrior, I schedule regular workouts to stay in shape.
To keep my car in Ninja Tough shape, I head to a Napa Auto Care Center for regular maintenance and genuine Napa Auto parts.
Like brakes and batteries.
I trust my Napa Auto Care Center for quality parts and quality service.
And with the 24-month, 24,000-mile nationwide warranty, I drive away with peace of mind every time.
Visit AutoCareNM.com to find a location near you.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club or DreamstyleRemodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Welcome to the place where we talk about people getting punched in the face. This is Cage Minds. I'm Micah Frankel. This past weekend, for the first time ever, I got the opportunity to do commentary and live streamed American Fight League's Southwest Brawl 7 from the Las Cruces Convention Center. You can find that fight at the Cage Minds MMA show on YouTube or the Cage Minds Combat Sports News Facebook page. We have some highlights. Here's the poster. It was an exciting night. Real quick, I can tell you that Southwest Brawl will be back in Las Cruces. Southwest Brawl at 8, presented by American Fight League, June 29th. Let's hit some highlights real quick and tell you guys about the action, starting off with the amateur card. You have Kenmoy Anderson on top of Jermaine Jackson, looking for the key lock. Unsuccessful with the submission. Instead goes to the ground and pound, dropping big bombs, getting the TKO victory. Here we go with Ivan Rios scrambling with Cody Davidsworth. Rios into the side control position. Davidsworth is trying to scramble out. The leg is trapped as they're scrambling. Rios hunting for the rear naked choke, and as they transition over, you'll see the submission here for the tap. Right there, arms trapped. Davidsworth is trying to fight off the choke, had a tap. Right here we have our guest from a couple weeks ago, Aaron Taylor, picking up Daniel Telemontes and slamming him. Telemontes had a tap, dislocating his arm. Do not post on your arm when you're getting slammed. Vince Garcia gets a takedown of Steven Robinson and stays on the offensive, getting the ground and pound TKO. Wangandara successful in his pro debut, catching a rear naked choke on Stephen Ojeda. The arm is under the neck, even though Ojeda tries to roll out of the position, he's forced to tap. Co-main event, big right hand from Colby Ortiz. Then on to the ground and pound, laying the hammers on Randy McCarty. There's going to be a point here where the left hammer fists start to land. You'll see it in just a second. Right here, those hammer fists start to land. Referee Joel Ojeda is forced to jump in, stopping the contest. Main event, Andy Varela, quick takedown, transitioning to a Kimura. While Geraldo Chaparro is fighting the Kimura position, he's not paying attention to the legs. Varela cinching up an inverted triangle. We're going to show you the full little sequence here that leads to the submission, the main event victory for Andy Varela. He's cinching it up, putting the legs under the neck. Now you have double threat on the submission. You have the inverted triangle and the Kimura. Chaparro tries to transition. The inverted triangle is still locked in, making the tight adjustments. The squeeze is getting tighter and tighter, and eventually here we're going to have the submission. Andy Varela improving to 3-1, the 10th Planet El Paso representative. We had a fun night there in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Again, I said in late June, we're expecting to have Southwest Brawl 8. We had Glory Kickboxing also take place this past weekend. Glory was in Los Angeles. Glory 52. Pavel Zurl in the featured Fight Pass Super Fight Series contest defeated Myron Dennis. Now we can switch to the next slide. There was only one knockout, and it comes via Simon Marcus. Marcus overwhelming Zach Wells, pushing him into the corner. Big right hand there, forcing the ref to jump in. Marcus definitely wants to get his welterweight title back. We can go over to the next slide. The main event, you were going to see the unification of the featherweight title and the pressure styling of the Dutch kickboxing. Roman van Roosmalen, still your Glory featherweight champion. That was on the kickboxing scene. Now we have some boxing. There was a big-time matchup. Anthony Joshua, Joseph Parker battling for most of boxing's prestigious heavyweight titles. We actually have some highlights for you of that one. Here it is, Parker trying to put on the pressure. That front hand of Joshua will give Parker troubles all night. It was the left hook, it was the jab hand, and when they were in close, it was the right uppercut. You can see that left hand again, stinging Parker, giving him problems, maybe some elbows, that right uppercut in tight. The English fighter improving to 21-0, and again, beautiful left hands from Joshua. We can transition to that next slide. You can see all the hardware real quick, everything that he's captured. The now IBF, IBO, WBO, and WBA heavyweight champion of the boxing world. Let's transition to that next slide because we're hoping that this will be the next fight that you see Anthony Joshua in. Could he actually finally beat time for these two to get together? Deontay Wilder is 40-0, the WBC world champion. Now, there are so many different title belts in boxing, and when I ask guys like Josh Pitbull Torres and Fidel Maldonado Jr., which is the most prestigious, it's the green belt, the one that Wilder has. I think it's time to make what could be the biggest boxing matchup in the heavyweight division that we've had in decades. Time to make Joshua versus Wilder. Now we can start to talk about what's actually going to happen this weekend. You have Titan FC on UFC Fight Pass, 2 title fights in that one. The main event, knockout artist Luis Gomez defends the Titan FC featherweight title against undefeated Jason Soares. Soares 10-0, 6 submissions. After a no contest at Titan FC 48, the co-main event is a rematch for the vacant welterweight title. Rami Hamad takes on Jose Caceres. That one's going to be exciting. We also have CES MMA 49 Friday night on Access TV. Jonathan Gary, our guest from last week, is on the card taking on Sean Soriano. This one also has 2 title fights. The co-main event, 12-1, The Snake, Nate Andrews faces 9-3 Chris Taco Padilla, who's on a 4-fight win streak for the vacant lightweight title from CES. Chris Curtis, who's on a 4-fight win streak, looks for his second defense of the welterweight title against Jason Norwood, who's won 3 in a row, 6 of his last 7. Bellator is on Paramount also Friday night. You have a kickboxing and MMA doubleheader from Bellator. The co-main event, Adam Borax and Theodore Nikolov. The main event, former WEC UFC lightweight champion Benson Henderson against Roger Huerta. Huerta, the first MMA fighter who ever graced the cover of Sports Illustrated. Then you go over the kickboxing portion of the card, the Bellator kickboxing welterweight title on the line, Raymond Daniels versus Juri Inupe. We also have boxing coming up this weekend. That's on Saturday night on Showtime. 154-pound title unification bout. Islandy Lara, 25-2-2 WBA champion, taking on Garrett Hurd, a 21-0 IBF title holder. Laura, a great jab cross combination. Hurd, a little more power, that vicious right hand. You have boxing on Saturday night. That one is in Las Vegas. And then you have UFC action on Saturday night. Of change, an injury, obviously. The fight is jinxed. Tony Ferguson, a knee injury falling on the Fox set. Not going to fight Khabib Nurmagomedov. Instead, the lightweight title is on the line when Khabib Nurmagomedov faces featherweight champion Max Holloway. Holloway jumping up a weight class, taking this fight on 6 days' notice. Holloway on a 12-fight win streak. Nurmagomedov undefeated at 25-0. The co-main event, a rematch for the UFC women's strawweight title. Joanna Jędrzejczyk looks to reclaim her title that she got taken from her by Rose Namajunas. Thug Rose took that fight with a TKO victory just 4 months ago. Canelo Alvarez versus Triple G2 has officially been canceled. Canelo Alvarez tested positive for a banned substance twice. He has pulled himself from the fight and is awaiting his suspension from the Nevada Athletic Commission, which reportedly will range somewhere between 6 to 12 months. Triple G says he will still be in action for Cinco de Mayo and then would like to fight and have the fight with Alvarez rescheduled for August or September. We have a couple more notes on the local scene for you guys. MMA returns to Hobbs, Havoc and Hobbs on April 21st. April 28th, Force of One Fighting Championships has announced an event for Clovis. Right there, Force of One Fighting Championships. The main event, Jamie Calloway versus Brandon Trujillo. And then there's boxing in Clovis. May 12th, Chaos in Clovis 2, heavyweight matchup, Eduardo Silva and Alijo Sena in the main event of that one. Breaking news also on the boxing scene, June 16th, venue not announced yet, Wrecking Crew Promotions will have their first event. Matthew Diamond Boy Griego, Fidel Maldonado, the Atrisco Kid, and Brian Labala Mendoza are all expected to be in some sort of title bouts at that event. We also have news that June 23rd, it looks like Legacy Boxing Promotions will be back with their next event. The American Fight League again will be back in Las Cruces for Southwest Brawl 8. June 29th, June 30th, you have the Jackson's MMA series up at Buffalo Thunder. And American Fight League has announced Clash of the Titans 3 at the Holloman Air Force Base for September. On the UFC front, there is 2 more little bits of news for you guys. Matt Brown is torn his ACL and is out of the fight next weekend with Carlos Condit. Carlos will still be on the Glendale UFC on Fox 29 card, instead now taking on Brazilian Cowboy Alex Oliveira. And it appears that a matchup with Donald Cowboy Cerrone and Leon Edwards is on tap for June in Singapore, a UFC Fight Night card. A whole bunch that we've went over, a whole bunch to keep up with. Go to CageMinds.com and hear a lot more at the Cage Minds Uncensored podcast. We'll be back with more Red Menace TV in just a moment.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters! It's like it never happened!
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at Proview Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Carmody Medical provides solutions for your everyday needs. Hot and cold compression wraps provide therapeutic compression for the shoulder, hip, and knee. The therapy wraps are constructed of an insulated outer fabric and a ventilated cotton pocket to protect the body. Elastic belts allow mobility and deliver a gentle, adjustable compression. The reusable therapy packs can be removed from the pouch and placed into the freezer. Contact Jim for more information.
Hey everyone, Adam Deal here with Proview Networks. Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of Proview Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean. Gecko's Bar and Tapas, a proud supporter of Proview Networks. It's been a fan favorite spot for food lovers and sports fans. With not one, but 2 great locations, including outdoor patio, an atmosphere you won't want to miss. Gecko's, off Academy and in Nob Hill. Ladera Golf Course. Open in 1980, Ladera features a full 18 including spacious greens, a large driving range, roomy practice putting greens, and 4 large lakes. Surrounding Ladera, beautiful views of the Sandia Mountains to the east and volcanoes to the west. Ladera is a challenging city-owned course with the longest playing yardage of any other city courses. For weekend tee times and more information, call 505-836-4449. Don't forget, every Proview Network sporting event is on sale at our DVD store. Go to www.proviewnetworks.com to buy your DVD today.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at Proview Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Hey, welcome back to Red Menace TV here on Proview Networks. Michael.
Leroy.
We have to give props what props is due.
Okay.
The New Mexico State Aggies have won something, allegedly.
What's that?
The now defunct Rio Grande rivalry now goes to the Aggies, I guess, this year, is what I read in the Albuquerque Journal this morning.
Now, why is it now defunct?
Because, well, so much like they now got kicked out of their conference in football, there's no funding for, I guess, the Rio Grande rivalry. So it hasn't been alive for a while now, but I guess...
Well, no, it has been alive for a while now.
Well, they've been mentioning it as long as the Lobos were winning, but now that they didn't win it, they went ahead and just kicked it off.
It is inaccurate to say there's no funding for it. There's nothing to fund.
Yeah.
I mean, no, seriously, what cost is involved? None. The trophy's already
Well,
bought.
I mean, you just want... Is there a trophy? I didn't know there was a trophy.
There's some kind of trophy thing, yeah.
There was there? I didn't know there was.
Yeah. No, it's...
Have you seen it?
It's defunct because the Lobos stopped recognizing it.
Okay, because they lost.
It would seem that way. That after years of dominating the Rio Grande rivalry, the one year they're not, they choose to stop recognizing it.
Now, I will be 100% honest in saying that even when it first came out, I thought it was like, this is the dumbest thing of all time.
Probably not dumbest of all time.
You're right. That's an exaggeration.
I never thought it was that big of a deal. For the majority of fans, football and the 2 basketball games,
men's basketball
games, were what mattered.
Right, and it always has been.
Right. With all due respect to the other sports, most fans didn't care who won those or what. It mattered what happened in those 3 matchups.
Right. I agree.
And that was where you got your bragging rights from.
Right. I mean, do you know what happened with swimming or soccer or?
I don't know that New Mexico State has those programs.
Oh. What program? Baseball?
Baseball, softball. I honestly, I have no idea.
They don't have a soccer program?
I don't know. I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying I don't know.
I mean, I would think closer to the border, Mexico, soccer is huge in that part of the world. I would think.
Wow, really?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
You don't think? I mean, I'm talking common sense-wise.
Seems kind of typecasting, yeah.
What do you mean typecasting? It's reality. Reality is soccer is huge in Mexico.
Is horse riding? Because they have equestrian down there.
Well, but I think equestrian's kind of like one of those other people are paying for it sports. It's not.
Well, they are now.
Yeah. Well, then, and as soon as they're done paying for it, it'll be done.
Kind of like skiing.
Kind of like skiing, and if once that's done, that's done.
Yeah.
In fact, it should probably be done anyway. I'm just going to say it. But yes, I mean, I don't think that's
national championship program.
What are you trying to say that
that's a national championship?
Are you trying to say
program.
that I'm being racial or ethnically insensitive by saying that soccer is huge in Mexico?
I've way moved on past that. How can you how can you say skiing should be cut? That's a national championship winning program.
Because how many programs actually have a skiing team? And well, it's great.
Hence, your chances of winning a national title are higher.
We just went from talking about people only caring about football and basketball to now trying to defend skiing.
Well, no, I'm not necessarily trying to defend it. I'm not trying to get rid of it either.
Hey, does anyone have a curling team?
No.
So perhaps we should start a curling team at UNM so we can win the national championship every year.
Because this is where your words come back to bite you. How many schools have curling?
I hear you, but I'm just arguing with you on that point. I'm just saying, come on.
You can't cut national championship winning programs, dude.
Look, we already know that there's a problem with UNM as far as money goes. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Well,
sports will have to be cut like everywhere else across the nation.
Here's a thought.
Okay.
You manage your money better, maybe there aren't all those problems.
Yeah, I think they're past
no. You defend the managing of money over there.
No.
Well,
hold on. Let me finish.
Okay.
I think college athletics as a whole has moved on from that point where you can manage money properly to keep as many sports as UNM has. And I think if you look across the country, and not just non-P5 teams, but also the bigger teams, they've all cut sports because it costs so much money to try to keep all these sports fully funded.
Sure.
And I just think it's past that now. I'm not defending anything as far as the accounting.
Well, that's fine, but you don't start with cutting sports that have won national titles.
Well, you can't cut women's sports.
Who do you think skis?
Well, men and women.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's a sport that you could probably, and I don't think most people would matter, unless it's funded. I mean, hey, look.
What do you think UNM's done more of in the last 5 years? Cut sports or add sports?
Let me think. I think they've added sports, have they not? And I think that's a mistake. I think the sand volleyball, they actually added that, but it actually falls under the volleyball that was already there, the women's volleyball that was already there. So I don't think, even though they added a sport, it doesn't count as adding a sport. They just added a sport.
If you play games at an apartment complex.
No, I mean.
I swear to God, there was a picture of the paper the other day. I don't know that it was at an apartment complex.
It might have been at Lobo Village.
It looked like it was at an apartment complex.
Do you remember? I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much you were there, but there was a point behind the Brian Urlacher indoor practice facility, or Brian Urlacher Field. I don't know what it's called.
I think it's Urlacher Field, yeah.
Mike Loxley had built a sand pit there because for that sand remember, he was trying those alternative training methods for his football players. And one of those was running in the sand and doing exercise in the sand because I guess the resistance of sand. There was a volleyball pit there, a sand pit. I don't know if it's still there or not. I haven't been back there in forever, but
maybe tonight we can sneak out and go back behind the practice facility.
Well, there is no football practice going on, so I'm sure media is allowed.
Spring practice is over.
Well, I'm just saying, you never know. But anyways, as far as going back to the original topic of what we were talking about, congratulations, Aggie. You won the Raggies. You won the Rio Grande rivalry for the first time in the history of the alleged Rio Grande rivalry. It wasn't much of a rivalry. And much like your bowl victory, you're going to celebrate it by having it kicked out, just like you got kicked out of the Sun Belt Conference. Isn't that where they play?
They play football in the Sun Belt, yeah. So you're saying they're going to have to forfeit their bowl win?
No, I'm just saying every time that they have any kind of success, it seems like one step forward, 10 steps back.
I hear you.
I'm just...
okay, that's fine, because now I'm just going to say.
Yeah.
In the last 60 years, it's not like UNM has that many more bowl victories than the Aggies. As a matter of fact, I believe it's one.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's 2-1. So, I mean, I get it, and I get the rivalry and all that and the smack talk, but... I like to brag about things that are actually worth bragging about.
No, I hear you. And that's why I never cared for the Rio Grande rivalry, because it was just like, what are you bragging about? So you smack around the Aggies every year. What's there to brag about?
And then you stop recognizing.
And then you stop recognizing when you get smacked.
Yeah.
And speaking of smacking around, and I'm going to transition out of this, I guess it's, I don't know. I mean, has Gonzaga officially turned down the Mountain West Conference? Have they not?
I believe they did, yes.
Okay, because there was first it was Craig Thompson had said they did, and then there was well, maybe not, and then there were some articles that maybe, and then there was well, you guys are just trying to score a better deal with the WCC. And there was, have we officially come to the point where Gonzaga has said no?
I think we have. If we haven't, honestly, we're probably getting pretty close.
Yeah, so basically they just kind of they're just trying to use the Mountain West Conference to secure a better deal for themselves.
Maybe. I think they were serious about leaving. Mm-hmm. I think the West Coast Conference kind of gave them what they were looking for.
Right.
And at that point in time, they decided to stay.
Now, obviously, are they still with ESPN, the West Coast? I'm not familiar with the West Coast Conference.
Yeah, they have games on ESPN.
Okay, and then we have, of course, CBS Sports and Facebook. I think that's where the majority of Lobo fans watch television games this year. On Facebook.
The network formerly known as Root Sports.
Yeah, okay. What is it called now?
I don't know. That's why I said the network formerly known as...
It's just a symbol?
AT&T Sportsnet, I
Print circa 1980, whatever?
Yeah. I think it's AT&T Sportsnet.
Okay, all right. I'm just saying, do you think that had anything to do with it? I mean, why would you want to leave ESPN?
Their games are on at midnight on the East Coast. I mean, it's not like they're getting prime positioning on ESPN.
Well, Boise State seemed to do okay in football doing that on off nights.
Do this.
Yeah.
For the next year, every time you go to somebody's house, a friend, a relative, girlfriend's friend, schoolmate, maybe you're going over for a big study group or something, grab their remote and flip around and tell me how many TVs, people's houses that have ESPN don't have CBS Sports.
No, I hear you. I hear you. But who watches CBS Sports when you have ESPN? But I'm getting this. I guess they're talking about the American Badass.
The Undertaker?
They're talking about The Undertaker and World Wrestling Entertainment's WrestleMania. Either that or they want us to take a break. Which one do you think it is?
I think they want to go on a motorcycle ride.
Okay. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back right after this with the final segment.
The Cherry Silver Benefit Home Show, April 7th and 8th, benefiting the UNM Children's Hospital, Popejoy Hall, and Anderson School of Management. See exhibitors feature windows, doors, kitchen, bath, sunroom, stucco. The Cherry Silver Benefit Home Show at Dreamstyle Arena, The Pit.
Here at the all-new Gala Chevrolet, our ultimate goal is to make life easier for you. That's why we built our new ultra-modern facility from the ground up with the customer in mind. With 1,000 vehicles in stock, a great variety of pre-owned vehicles of every make and model, a clean, state-of-the-art service department focused on getting you back on the road as quickly as possible, and a sales team devoted to 100% customer satisfaction. All conveniently located in the heart of Albuquerque. We'll see you soon, right here at the all-new Gala Chevrolet.
Nothing completes a trip downtown like a visit to Lindy's Cafe. You won't find a more relaxing restaurant to unwind at. Located on 5th and Central, proud supporters of ProView Networks. Lindy's strives to be a friendly and welcoming place.
Lindy's, a great place to be seen.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rawlings, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Hey, welcome back. Hey, like I said, so Gonzaga is officially, so for New Mexico State, I just want to wrap that up. So New Mexico State, I guess they don't need to worry about being offered a spot in the Mountain West Conference.
That probably wasn't happening anyway.
It wasn't happening anyway. They were probably last on that.
Well, I don't think they intended to add any but one team because that worked out well because you've got an odd number of teams in basketball. Gonzaga doesn't play football, so that would have filled that void.
I think and maybe it was just a dream in that, and we talked about it, I know, was that maybe BYU would want to come along instead of being kingfish in that little conference.
Right. And at that point in time, you probably do look at adding a second team in addition to a BYU hypothetically. But, BYU basketball and other sports may want to do that. I'm still not sure how much they want to give up football independence.
I mean, I'm trying to look because, once again, I don't really follow the WCC. I don't really follow football independence either. How good has BYU been in the past decade since they've gone independent? I mean, they've had a couple of bowl games, but, I mean, I don't think they've done anything spectacular national-wise.
Right, but they're not sharing any money with
That's
conference.
true. That's true.
All the money they make, they're keeping to themselves. They've got their own network, so worst case scenario, all their games that they won't televise will be televised, and you can see them pretty much anywhere.
That's true.
In the
I mean,
country.
they've got the best of both worlds, and maybe that's Aggie Vision envisions, or Aggies envision with Aggie Vision, like BYU TV. That everyone will be watching their independent football games on Aggie Vision.
I don't believe you realize how nationwide BYU's network is.
No, I do.
Okay.
I think you. You're not catching the sarcasm?
And how citywide Aggie Vision is.
Citywide? Do you think they get it in South Las Cruces?
Sure.
They may not.
I'm sure they do.
You think they do? At least in well, why would you broadcast it in Las Cruces? Wouldn't you rather have people come to the games?
Yeah.
Of course.
You're not blacking out Lobo games here, are you?
They're kind of blacked out. I can't, like I said, unless you watch Facebook.
No. AT&T Sportsnet.
I thought it was the station
formerly known as Root. Yeah, it's AT&T Sportsnet.
Hey, one thing we talked about off the air, and I definitely wanted to bring it up. Daniel Libet's NewMexicoFishbowl.com article. We did discuss it. We teased it a little earlier. Had an interview with Katie Nida and her. What would you call it? Just explaining or detailing what happened?
Her concerns with the Lobo football program and hoping the investigation continues. And she talked about an incident she had with Coach Davey where I guess she was speaking to all the athletes as a group, but then she also specifically spoke to the Lobo football team. And originally they were going to give her 20 minutes. Her presentations are usually an hour, so she had to fight to get the hour.
Right.
And then as she was taking questions, according to her, they kind of quickly ended the session. And to her, Bob Davies seemed a tad disrespectful, maybe made a comment about her going long and didn't, in her mind, take things very seriously. And you look at what's happened since then. Maybe, and this is just me speculating, if things had been taken more seriously then, maybe at least part of the things going on now that have been investigated or continuing to be investigated, maybe some of those things wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with what you're saying.
Okay, hold on. So you don't agree with when she's there talking to people, talking to football players about not raping people, and it's not taken seriously.
And I don't mean to laugh. I'm sorry, but that's just...
and gets brushed off. And then what? A year later, a football player is being investigated.
Yeah,
maybe if it's taken more seriously, then maybe I didn't say it wouldn't.
Yeah.
Maybe it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I don't see the correlation there, but
okay. Should I explain again?
Hold on. No. I hear what you're saying. I'm just not saying. I mean, I don't think that's saying it. I do believe.
If I tell you not to rob a bank, and while I'm telling you not to rob a bank, somebody comes in, oh, you're goofy, let's leave, and then you go out and rob a bank. If you had listened, maybe you take my advice and don't go rob a bank. Now, maybe you don't.
I'm just saying. I don't want to say the boys will be boys thing or whatever.
You cannot. No.
Look, if you're a criminal, you're a criminal. That's the way it is. It don't matter how many people talk to you. If you're a criminal, you're a criminal. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not casting aspersion, whatever. I mean, I don't. Nias Martin is the player named in the article by Fishbowl. I'm not saying that he's a criminal. I don't think he's even been charged officially, though there is the investigation according to the website.
But again, why do you think she goes around speaking?
No, I agree.
To stress upon people things you probably shouldn't do. And again, if it's taken more seriously, then maybe you're not in this situation.
Okay, I can see
right. There are no guarantees. Maybe it still happens anyway. But if you take it seriously, then the idea would be things like that don't happen later.
Now I did, and okay, I'll agree with you on that, I guess. The thing that I did, and I when I first saw it, and there was other articles, Jaden Boatwright, former Lobo, and I can't even think of Mackey's first name, where they kind of came across as more disgruntled players that maybe had some troubles here, as well as not playing. So a lot of people took, when Katie Nida's interview came up on Fishbowl, they kind of wanted to lump her in there with Mackey and with Boatwright. And
Katie Nida, who did not play for Bob Davie, had long since been graduated when Bob Davie.
Right, absolutely. And Katie Nida, who didn't play much, she did play, and she did break the glass ceiling, if you will, of college football by attempting that extra point and kicking 2 successful extra points at one point. I will say I'm a huge Katie Nida fan, always have been. Very respectful young lady. Her book was good, and I actually watched when one of her presentations. I actually went to one of those at UNM long after she had graduated, when her book had come out. I don't think you can put Katie Nida in the same vein as those 2 young men at all. I think Katie truly believes, and if you ever have a moment to talk with Katie. Very articulate young lady, and also very much what she talks about, she believes in, and she's really trying to make a difference. So what Katie says, were the other 2 young men, I would take with a grain of salt. With her, I totally believe in what she says, because I believe her. I think she's very, she has integrity, and her character is top notch in my book.
No, I would 100% agree with that. Now, look, there's always 2 sides to a story, but she relayed, in the interview with Libet, and she had said, and it's since been backed up, relayed this to school officials, how she felt things were treated, her presentation, how she was treated after the fact. And yeah, you're just burying your head in the sand if you don't if you just automatically, oh no, she's just disgruntled, put her over here with former disgruntled players. That's disrespectful to her, but you're also, you don't want to, you're afraid of what you might find out. And I'm not saying you're going to find out anything heinous, but I'm just saying you should pay attention, because, I don't know how you could call into question Katie Nida's integrity.
Real quick, because we're running out of time.
Sure.
This isn't like an earth-shattering interview, more like, what do you think, like another brick in the wall?
This in and of itself, it's nothing earth-shattering, but it is, it's another brick in the wall. It's another one of the many things that have come out. And, at some point in time, when you start lumping all these things together, you've got a big mountain of stuff.
Yeah,
None of which individually maybe is all that big of a deal, some more so than others. But after a while, you've got to do something to stop the pile from growing because it's continuing to grow.
Yep. Don't forget this weekend, Gladiator football here on Proview Networks. Adam Deal with the call. This is Leroy Lucero for Michael Carlisle, Alden, and of course Micah. We'll see you next week. God bless you all.